We're less than 1 week away from the 2024 NFL Draft, and as it stands right now, as of this recording, the Arizona Cardinals hold on to the 4th overall selection, a prime position to select a certain wide receiver out of Ohio State, number 18, Marvin Harrison Jr. Will they get on the clock and make the actual selection? That remains to be seen, but we did hear from the Cardinals architect, general manager Monti Ossenfort, and head coach Jonathan Gannon in their annual pre-draft press conference. Now, of course, they're not going to let us know all the information as far as it pertains to the Cards draft, but as far as general philosophies, where they are right now, as far as their draft board goes, Monti answered those questions. Especially, let's take a listen to where they are as far as completing their draft board.
Our board right now is 95 to 98% complete. We're, I think hay's in the barn, maybe that's a good way to put it. So we're in a good spot. We're in a really good spot. And so now I'd say for the next week is when we do turn our attention to scenarios. And, this guy goes here, and we use the mocks to take a look at that. And I would say, I don't know that anybody knows anything more than we know. I think we're all just waiting. We'll sit there and watch TV just like you guys do, and as those picks come across the board. And I think for the next week, what we'll do is we'll throw different scenarios at each other, and how will we react if this guy's available, if this guy's not available. And so that's what really this last week is for me.
So between now and then, the Cardinals and their front office and Ossenfort's scouting department will go through different draft scenarios and make sure they're prepared for anything that could go down on April 21st in the first round and beyond. As far as Monti Ossenfort, the questions, as far as is he motivated to trade out of the 4th overall selection, or is he open to it? Monti dropped a certain analogy that makes a little bit more sense as far as where the general manager stands with the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, we've had talks with multiple teams, and multiple teams have checked in with us, and I think the way I look at it is like, guys, I love my house. I love where I live, okay? My wife loves where we live. If all of a sudden there's a knock on my door and someone's going to offer me something, and I'm going to look and see what they're offering me. And if I open that up and it's something I'm not expecting, hey, Shannon, let's go, pack up, it's time to roll. Okay, so, I think, that happens beforehand. It happens on the clock. But, I think, different teams have different motivations, but we'll see how this one plays out next week.
So it seems Monti has to be overwhelmed and the price has to be right for the Cardinals to trade down. He's not looking for any deal or the best deal to trade down. He's looking for what he deems, what he wants in return to trade down the draft board. As far as those who are all in on Marvin Harrison Jr., give me Marvin Harrison Jr. or give me death, well, Monti Ossenfort, I asked him what his message is to Cardinals fans who are all in on one specific prospect in this NFL draft.
Well, our fans are very important to us, and I think ultimately what I can promise and what I always promise is we're going to do what's best for the team. We're going to do what's best for the team this year and then also long term. And so, I guess everybody's got an opinion. Everybody's got favorites, and that goes with the territory. So, I think ultimately JG talked about this at length. Like, no matter what decision it is, whether it's draft or free agency or cutting a player or who makes a practice squad, every decision that we make, it will always be what's in the best interest of the team.
Cardinals did trade down last year from 3 to 11 and then back up to 6. I asked Ossenfort if he had received as much interest in the 4th overall pick this draft as he did in the 3rd overall pick last year. Couldn't necessarily answer that, but Ossenfort did tell us when he expects calls to truly heat up for moves to be made up the draft board.
I would say really those conversations will really probably pick up next week. So we had plenty of conversations already, more just surface level. And similar to last year, you really start to drill down on those the week of the draft and, really the Wednesday and Thursday before opening night there.
With so much intrigue as far as the 4th overall selection goes and the Cardinals having double-digit picks, 11 as it stands right now, of course, it stretches beyond just the fan base and prognosticators out there. It also extends into the Arizona Cardinals locker room and facility. And head coach Jonathan Gannon says it's a good thing. His players are so interested in what the Cardinals are going to do on draft day 1, 2, and 3?
From my standpoint, our guys care what we're doing. So yeah, they're very chatty. They want to know what are we doing to get the football team better. So it's actually really cool because they have an investment in wearing the Cardinal on their helmet, and I love that. So I love having those discussions, and it's cool too because you listen to their point of view and you say, "Have you ever thought about this?" "Oh no, I guess I didn't think about that." "Yeah, I know." I said, "Well, take that times 100, and that's what he's thinking about." So it's cool when you kind of listen to those guys and hear their opinions. I welcome it.
So to summarize, the Arizona Cardinals, their draft board is basically complete. They're going to go through different scenarios and be prepared for every single situation come the 3 days of the NFL draft. Also, where Monti Ossenfort stands as far as his approach to a trade down, not motivated, but absolutely open to it, especially if he's going to get a King's ransom. And also, as far as the fan base being all in on one specific prospect and Marvin Harrison Jr., and when he expects calls, expects on Wednesday or Thursday of the NFL draft week. And of course, Jonathan Gannon, he's pumped that his team is so invested in the Cardinals and what they're going to do. Got any thoughts on the Cardinals NFL draft? Should they trade down? Should they stick and pick? Monti Ossenfort's comments during the pre-draft press conference? Leave a comment. Drop a like.